Hey guys, everyone, welcome to the first episode of my World Cup edition. I'm joined by my friend Suhail. Suhail, would you like to introduce yourself? कुछ अपने बारे में बताओ, how we know each other, ताकि लोगों को पता हो.
Sure, why not? And thanks for having me on your first podcast. Um, Basically, we are all buddies from school days, and it's been a very long time that we haven't spoken. Although we are connected on WhatsApp, for I think I would say COVID is kind of a blessing in some way, in terms of we got connected after many years. That's to start with, and from my side, like I'm basically a telecom guy. It's been like 16 years I've been associated with the telecom industry and working in a telecom firm in Saudi Arabia right now. And it's quite a journey because I've been associated to the Gulf countries for like, I would say 15 years now. Since 2008, I'm outside Karachi, my hometown. And it's quite a big journey.
Wow.
And staying with my family, with my kids in Riyadh, it's been like almost 10 years now. But I like the journey. I'm liking it.
Wow.
And my kids are growing here in Riyadh.
Yeah.
Mashallah, my elder son is 10 years old. So you can imagine. It's a lot of busyness in the life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, a lot is
So,
happening.
so how do you keep up with cricket? Because clearly it seems like you're pretty connected, you follow everything. How do you get time?
Well, cricket is in our blood. Um, and as a Karachiite, belonging from one of the biggest city in Pakistan, we play a lot of cricket on street and play a lot of tennis ball cricket with putting on electric tape, as you know. And a lot of cricket still happen in Karachi a lot.
Yeah.
And Karachi used to be, I would say, Karachi used to be a hub of cricket. I'm not sure about now because I'm quite disconnected, as I told you, for last like 14, 15 years. Now, how I stay connected with the cricket, one of the things is I play cricket in Riyadh as well whenever I get time. And as I told you, I have a family. So with family, things not so, I would say, I don't get the luxury of time actually to spend more time on the ground or even on the big street area. However, this is one part of it. The second part is watching cricket, interacting with you, of course, and all our buddies who love cricket and support Pakistan cricket. So I'm one of the biggest fan of Pakistan cricket.
Yeah, nice. Very nice. Acha, in my case, I have been very lucky because after I moved here and I live in New Jersey, after I moved here, I actually picked up cricket more seriously here because there was a lot of club cricket happening and I didn't really have much to do on the weekends because, when you come to a new country, you don't have any friends.
Yeah.
You don't really have much association with anybody, really. It's just family time. And then weekends, I would go out and I started playing club cricket. So I have learned a lot about actual club level of cricket. I've played with Jamaicans, I've played with people from India, I've played with people from Sri Lanka, and obviously people from Pakistan.
Wow.
So my perspective on cricket is a little bit different in the sense that so as a kid I grew up watching it, but then there were times when there would be a big game right on TV, but we still had to go and play our club cricket games. We just couldn't skip it. That's just the commitment you make to your club. So that just so in those cases, cricket just became the sport itself became more than just being a fan of a certain team. I mean, of course, I'm a Pakistan fan. That's always going to be the case. But cricket just became more of almost like a semi-profession, right? Every Sunday you
Good.
have to play. Throughout the week you practice, and then you go and you perform. And in all of that, I've tried to keep up with my following of cricket, and I think, as you said, we do a good job of discussing cricket every day. And then I figured that, hey, World Cup's right around the corner. We know the Pakistan squad is out, so might as
Yeah.
well get on a podcast and talk about it. So
Why not?
this is what I did, right? Let me actually pull up the squad so we can both see it, and I would
Sure.
love to get your take on the selection and how you think this is gonna go. Okay. Do you see it
Not yet.
or no? Not yet. Maybe I need to pick this option.
Now I'm slow. I'm seeing now. Can you make it big? Yeah. Okay. So I think let's talk about
Is
the
this
opening
better?
pair. Yeah, just because I'm using my
Yeah,
mobile, I'm just twisting it
let's start.
around to. Yeah, now I can see better. Okay, so from where you want me to start?
So let's start with openers, right? I mean, we know that most probably Imam and Fakhr are going to open, right? What are your thoughts there? Because Fakhr obviously has not done off late pretty well. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, as the entire world knows who would follow cricket, that Fakhr is not in a really good form, although he's considered as a monster when he's in his, how to say, in a beast mode, I would say. He's a killer when he's in his
Yeah.
zone. That's one thing. I listened to Babar Azam recent press conference. If you had a chance to look at it,
Mm.
he mentioned that we will assess the conditions first, and then we will create or devise a combination. He mentioned that, and that's quite right because you can't be a no-brainer by going with, उर्दू में वो कहते हैं ना लकीर का फकीर नहीं बनना चाहिए इंसान को. So for that, I think he should use his brain. For example, you can have a right hand and left hand combination. Abdullah Shafiq is a right man as an opener. You can have Imam ul Haq and Abdullah Shafiq as one option. Probably they can try in the warm up games, or I think the first game is going to be on 6th of October with Netherlands. So they can try something new if they
Mm.
want to try. That's an easy pick for them. And it's actually good for them. Unlike if they get first match with Australia, it's going to be very tough. So if they are playing with minnows
Mm.
like Netherlands, they can try different combinations. So yeah, Fakhr performance is very well known by everyone, especially in the Asia Cup, as we noticed. Um, I think like the way we used to had Saeed Anwar and Shahid Afridi as a right hand and left hand combination. They can go for. So my take or my vote would be um, probably Fakhr can go two down or one down if Babar is satisfied to sacrifice his position and go at number four rather than number three. Um, Maybe Fakhr will get a little bit time to adjust because as an opener, there's a lot of pressure on you to literally fire the first 5 overs or 6 overs, the play power overs. I mean, and his bat
Yeah.
is it's very cross bat. It's not straight. So that's another challenge he has.
Yeah. Yeah. See, when I look at this whole opening situation, and knowing Babar the way he likes to pick teams, I don't see Abdullah Shafiq playing easily. Just my honest opinion. I understand that he dropped Fakhr in the last game in Asia Cup because of non-performance. But if Fakhr is in the squad, I think he's going to be the preferred opener first. Now, the fact that they're playing Netherlands up first is both a blessing and it can be a bad thing, right? Because blessing in the sense whoever plays, उनके performance करने के chances काफी high हैं, right? But then they can easily go and fail against bigger teams. फिर क्या होगा, right? Kind of like how Babar did really well against Nepal, right? 150 मारे उसने.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, he just failed. Not to say that anything different would have happened with Babar, but replace Babar with Fakhr, right? Fakhr goes and scores, let's say, 150 against Netherlands. Then what happens? फिर तो ऐसा लगेगा कि अब्दुल्ला शफीक खेलेगा ही नहीं इस वर्ल्ड कप में, right? So I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
I
Yeah.
think to your point, that is when they have to figure out कि कौन सी टीम खेलेगी, because जिसको भी वो ट्राई कराएंगे ना उसके परफॉर्मेंस करने के चांसेस हाई हैं, and that person probably will, if that person is Abdullah Shafiq, for example, and he scores 120 runs, फिर क्या होगा? फिर
Right.
तो ऐसा लगेगा कि फखर को नहीं खेलना चाहिए. But then if Abdullah Shafiq continues to fail after that against bigger teams, then everyone's going to say फखर को क्यों नहीं खिलाया जब उसको 2 साल प्रेफर किया था, क्यों नहीं खिलाया? That I think it's just tricky.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you. It's not so easy, and unfortunately, the recent Asia Cup has really exposed the top order big time. And not only top order, also with the exit of Naseem Shah, we have more problems right now. Bringing in Hassan Ali, I'm sorry if I'm deviating from the topic, but I can't control myself. The reason is that there are a lot of problems currently. So I agree with Babar. I agree with Babar that they need to assess the condition and then go for the right combination. It seems like they are going with open
Yeah.
mind, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. I thought that when Babar said that, and I heard his press conference, I liked it quite a bit. He seemed very relaxed and pretty pumped up for the World Cup, which was good to see. But मुझे ऐसा लगा कि जब वो combinations की बात कर रहा है, he is referring to how many spinners to play, and not necessarily the opening combination. Because, and let's assume that what you're saying is correct. कि वो opening की भी बात कर रहा था. In that case, in which condition would you play Abdullah Shafiq over Fakhr? Or Fakhr over Abdullah Shafiq?
See, I hear the press conference of other um, members as well, like Haris Rauf, and I
Hmm.
hear that he was saying that the conditions are similar, like Pakistan, Sri Lanka, or Bangladesh. So there can be flat pitches conditions. There can be spinning track as well, which can definitely support Kuldeep or like Ashwin. For sure, they will have those pitches which will support the leggies actually. And again, I can't resist myself to say that we are very upset from Shadab Khan, the way he has done in the recent Asia Cup. Really disaster.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare for him.
Yeah.
I believe he may not want to remember that Asia Cup tournament, actually. So, kind of agree
Hmm.
with Haris Rauf because Haris Rauf has been playing with Pakistan for quite a long time now. He was part of the last World Cup squad as well. And I think because these are subcontinent Asian conditions, so probably Pakistan may not have problem like, for example, if the World Cup is happening in Australia, on green turf, it would have been a big challenge for people like Fakhr, you know. So probably the ball can come to the bat nicely, unlike Australian pitches or New Zealand pitches. That may help Pakistani players, and especially Pakistani players are famous in playing the spinners. I hope they play well on flat tracks or the spinning tracks, and especially with the inclusion of Saud Shakil, with the inclusion of Abdullah Shafiq, I think they are pretty handy in playing the spinners as well.
I mean, I don't, yeah, but I want to touch on the ability to play a spin track in like 5 seconds. So I think it's safe to say that Fakhr is going to open from what you're saying.
Yeah, so 90% or
Right?
80%, you can say that they will go with the same method which they had. And there is a chance as well because you have another opener sitting on the bench. As you also pointed out, that maybe Abdullah Shafiq may not get any chance if Babar Azam is there, Fakhr is there, um, Imam is there. The top three is already
Mm.
there. So there is a high probability,
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so moving on to the middle order, right? Or top to middle order. Obviously, Babar Azam, no one's going to move him. He's going to play throughout the World Cup. So that's done deal. Now number four. Um, there's been a lot of questions over the last year or so. Who should be number four? And we have seen multiple people playing that role. I think Rizwan right now is batting there. Um,
Yep.
and now they're trying to bring in South Shakil. And the interesting thing about South Shakil is that one thing I disagree with what you said is that Pakistan is good at playing spin. I don't think the current Pakistani team is good at playing spin. But I think in South Shakil, they have someone that is really, really good against spin. And Babar Azam is decent against spin. But other than that, I have seen Rizwan, I have seen Fakhr, I have seen even Imam. They can survive, but I don't think they can play at their career strike rates when they're playing against good spin bowlers from what I have seen in the recent past against good teams. So now with South Shakil, it definitely gives them that dynamic guy that has the ability to play spin well, attack when needed, and and still construct or put together a pretty good long inning. I think जो tricky बात है वो ये है that where should he bat, number 4 or number 5? What do you think?
You mean Rizwan? South.
I was actually talking about South Shakil. South Shakil.
Um, I think, see, the old players are there already, so Rizwan may not sacrifice. I believe so. In the entire Asia Cup, he came at number 4, and probably Salman Ali Agha and our beloved Chacha Iftikhar, maybe they need to trickle down a bit, and Saud Shakil may get entry at number 5, most likely because he is, someone like we used to had, um, if I recall, Asad Shafiq, and of course the great Inzamam ul Haq and Yunus Khan. The backbone, the number 4 and number 5 are very critical. And I
Mhm.
probably, Saud Shakil should get an advantage because, see, Salman Ali Gaga is kind of an all-rounder. And again, Iftikhar is kind of an all-rounder. They can slip in their position, and number 5, Saud Shakil can be promoted.
So you're thinking number 5. So Rizwan stays at 4. South Shakil comes at 5. 6 is Chacha. Salman Ali Agha to nahi khelega na. If South Shakil is there, Salman Ali Agha won't be picked,
Yeah.
right?
So,
Because there's going to be
yeah.
less
So,
space.
yeah, if you are going with 5 specialist bowler, it depends. Sometimes if you have a
Mhm.
total flat track, you may go for 2 all-rounders. It can happen as well. It depends how the tournament goes. You have like how many matches? 9, 10 matches per team. It's huge
9.
actually. 9 matches, right? Yeah. So 9 matches is quite tough. They have to play across the across the world. I would say all the 9 nations, and probably they need to assess. Probably they need to change their gears. It all depends, as we were discussing 2 nights ago, that the momentum. So they need to really come hard on Netherlands to make a statement, a bold statement that Pakistan is back, and deal with Netherlands like a real minnow. That they need to hammer like the way Papa did Nepal to Nepal, and a convincing win will really boost their chances. And no matter what, all the players, all the fans, they look after the media, social media. Of course, the bold headline when it will struck to everyone's head that Pakistan is back. So I think it's a good opportunity. I don't say it's a dicey opportunity for Pakistan. It's a good opportunity that they should do really well. They are not competing with England or New Zealand or even Australia, so they are starting the tournament nicely, fortunately,
Yeah.
and they should make the most of it. Either they go with the same combination they had in Asia Cup, I don't mind, but yani the most important thing is they need to get back their confidence because they were massacred with the competition they had with India, and it was a little unfortunate with Sri Lanka. However, Sri Lanka really batted well to earn that win. But what happened in final was a was a disaster, more disaster than Pakistan India match. What happened in the finals, I cannot understand what happened to Sri Lanka on the final match.
Yeah. I think it was one of those unlucky days where everything goes against you because I mean I understand Siraj bowled really well and I've seen his interviews. I like him. I respect him as a human being and all that. But the bowling that he was doing in the final wasn't unplayable. Most of the shots were miscued, went straight to fielders' hands. They couldn't have been planned. It's one of those days when everything works out for you as a cricketer. Siraj had that kind of a day, and when that happens as a team, I feel, in my opinion, you can't do anything. It's just every single thing that you touch goes to crap. And it is what it is. If I were Sri Lanka, I would just say, guys, just forget about this day and move on. But coming back to the middle order, right? So we're saying Rizwan, Shoutakil, Iftikhar, and then after Iftikhar, you have your all rounders that we call all rounders that, in my opinion, are not all rounders, but they have potential to be all rounders. So let's say Shadab is next, right? So Shadab comes in, and I'm pretty sure Shadab's going to play. Babar, especially आज की जो उसकी press conference थी after that, he's not touching Shadab for a while, unless Shadab does full tosses and short bowling again in the very first game. So Shadab is going to stay. So now at this point, we're at 7 players. Now we have 4 spots left. all for the bowlers. Who
Yep.
are your bowlers?
Well, for sure, Shaheen is there, Haris Rauf is there, and they might go with Wasim Jr. and Hassan Ali. Um, it's very unfortunate. Naseem is one of the best pick, I would say. And currently, the way he bowled against India as well was most of the balls were unplayable. The way he was, and he was a little unlucky, not able to get more wickets actually. So, as I said, Netherlands
Yeah.
match will be kind of a litmus test. It's a litmus test for the newcomers like Hassan Ali, I would say, and Saud Shakil if they get a chance. Um, it depends how the management will think. But I think I gave you my answer
Yeah.
that Haris Rauf, Shaheen, Hassan Ali, Wasim Jr. Can be selected as well.
But are you sure? So you're saying, I mean, Harris and Shaheen are done deals. So for the other two spots that are left, you're saying Hassan Ali and Muhammad Wasim. Are you sure they're not going to consider, or Nawaz is not going to play ahead of Muhammad Wasim or Hassan Ali?
See, either Shadab or Nawaz will make the way, in my view, because Chacha did a great job last time, and he took three
With the
wickets.
ball.
Yeah, with the ball. Yeah, he did a fine job, and um,
You think Chacha can do that again?
I think so. He's a senior campaigner, and I think he's getting better and better. And I saw some social media posts that people are now praising Misbah Haq because Misbah brought him in the team, and people were really hammering him that what you saw in Iftikhar. But now Iftikhar is proving now, and he was the only player who was really disturbing the Sri Lankan team last time.
I mean, to be honest, what Iftikhar has done, I'm not surprised. I mean, he always showed glimpses of this, right? I mean, even the very first tour he went on in Australia in T20s, he was the only one scoring 30s and 40s, and वहाँ भी sixes मार रहा था और कोई भी नहीं मार पा रहा था. Even Rizwan failed miserably, Fakhar failed miserably, Babur failed
Hmm.
miserably. But Iftikhar did well. So we always knew that he had this वो एक होता है ना the presence के I'm here, I am confident, I'm experienced. वो था उसमें. It was a matter of can he put all can he connect all the dots and produce innings, which I think because of consistent chances that he's gotten, he has now upped the level where he is performing. And yeah, I really like him. I have a lot of respect for him because he faced so much media pressure, so many bad nicknames or good nicknames or funny nicknames, but he's come through. He's not like Imam who complains about being called Perchi still to this day. Um,
Yeah.
but I agree with you. That's probably what the team is going to be. Nawaz versus Muhammad Wasim or Nawaz versus Hassan Ali is a bit of a touch and go based on conditions, probably. Um, but I really want to see Osama Mir play, man.
Yeah, I know. You have been voting for him for quite a long time. So I think I don't want to say it, but let me say it because this is your podcast. He's not in the group actually, Osama Mir. What I've noticed, he's a
Mm.
genuine spinner. He's a genuine spinner, and he can hit the ball very hard. But I believe he's not in the group. Seems like because he has to manage Shadab Khan, then Nawaz, then you have Hassan Ali, then Wasim Jr. So um, that position can be filled in. He's there based on performance, and look at what happened to Ebrar Ahmed. They have chosen him just for the sake of it only, putting him on the reserve only. So, yani, until you get someone injured,
क्या ये
especially in
चीज
the
तो
spinning
मैंने
part.
देखी है. हाँ.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. No, I agree with you. Until someone gets injured, those are really reserves. They're not really people that are going to play
Yeah.
in the 11 consistently. I think that's the point you're making, and I agree with you. But I think if they come across a pitch which is turning from ball one and they can kind of tell a day ahead, I think they're going to be forced to pick Osama Mir in that situation because he's a genuine spinner that can turn the ball even on flat tracks. So he can turn the ball on flat tracks, he's going to do well. Now, if Shadab sucks from game one, that obviously makes passage for Osama Mir into the team a little bit easier, right? Because that's a like for like change. But overall, though, I think pretty decent squad, right? I mean, I don't have much against it, to be honest, based on availability of players. Pretty decent squad, and they do have in reserves. They do have Zaman Khan. They do have Abrar, so not bad. What do you think?
Yeah, I think as a caveat you put just now that based on the available options and the injuries we are having in the bowling department, let's say Hasnan or of course Naseem and Hassan, I think Hassanullah, these 3 4 fast bowlers, they are not well, and you can't put Arshad Iqbal into it. Suddenly, Arshad Iqbal is playing Qaid Azam Trophy right now. So yeah, you don't have much
Mm.
choices. There were a lot of rumors on the social media. I don't know who was running the campaign on Mohammad Amir. There was a lot of campaign being run for Mohammad Amir on the social media that he's coming back. Who wants to see Shaheen and Amir together? Bulldozing the Indian top three actually. But the problem, see, Mohammad Amir is a different topic. Maybe we need another podcast for him, what he did to his career and where he's going now. Um,
Agreed. Yeah.
yeah. So I think, yeah, I kind of agree because, as you said,
Yeah. I mean, I was
yeah, go ahead.
you know, on topic of Mohammad Amir, I can't help but say something. So with Amir, I mean, when I heard the rumors, look, I'm a fan, right? I'm a fan of his bowling. I think he's turned into a very good economical bowler. He's not Shaheen that goes in to find a wicket from ball one, but he is a much tighter version of Shaheen that can block runs. And if Shaheen is bowling from the other end, that can be a pretty decent combination. But there are a few factors, right? And yes, we can do an entire podcast on Amir, but there are a few factors. One is, in my opinion, the disrespect that Amir shows by not playing domestic. If he's not going to play domestic even 1 year, I think he should not be playing for the national team. I think that is something that he needs to put himself out there. An entire country is not going to run after him. And the second thing is he is an aging player. Uska pace, when he stopped playing, his pace was already down because that was one of the things that Misbah Wakar brought up. कि अपना pace क्यों नहीं तुम्हारा तेज है जितना पहले होता था. People thought he was doing it on purpose. I don't know what the deal was. But that's the problem with him. That it's very difficult to push him as management to, hey, this is our goal. Can you deliver? And he's still going to do what he wants to do. So it's a very difficult situation. It's kind of like you're trying to cook a certain dish, right? And you have to add something sweet to it. But the sweet thing you have is not really sugar. It's just something that happens to be sweet, and you have to make it fit into your world. And it's just difficult, very difficult. I wish he had made things easier for PCB that stood by him, but unfortunately, it's just what it is. And if you were Babar, I don't think you would want to change your entire squad by surprising. एक तो यार ये चीज़ है ना पाकिस्तान में, and let me know what you think. And we're gonna make this very short. That when things aren't working, right? When a certain group of people that are in power or that are playing fail, everyone wants change. No one wants to sit down with them and ask them, hey, what happened? How can you fix this? नहीं, change. कुछ नया लाते हैं यार. वो नए में सब बर्बाद हो गया है.
I'll see. That's a very good topic, Bilal. I'll take you back to the history now. You remember how Imran Khan was brought in '92 World Cup due to the request of the then president or prime minister.
Yeah.
Another example. I remember after the dismal performance in '99 World Cup, suddenly Rashid Latif became the captain. Then Waqar Yunus became the captain in 2003 World Cup. It was a disaster. And that was Wasim Akram last World Cup and last matches, one of the last match he played. Then last example I'll give you in the era of Zardari, actually, if you remember, Shoaib Akhtar. When the IPL started and Shah Rukh Khan was really after to get on board Shoaib Akhtar, and Shoaib Akhtar admitted the support he got from Zardari at that time in 2007 or 2008. He was serving 5-year ban from the PCB overnight the ban was turned down, and then he flew to India to I think Kolkata to play that match, and he was the man of the match for the first match. So there has been a history there since
Mm-hmm.
from say 92 level, from 92 till 2008 2009. We have been seeing people have been um, called by the management due to certain pressure, and even those time, even till IPL started in the first version, um, there was no social media hype those days. We used to just hear in the newspaper only, okay, Shoaib Akhtar is back. That's it. And Shoaib Akhtar is flying to India to play the first version of IPL. That's it. And now it's very difficult because you lose one match. Let's suppose, God forbid, you lose a match with Netherlands. It will be the disaster and nightmare for the players. They will see their mobile. Everybody is looking at their iPhone or Samsung mobile, and then you will get in touch with the social media by any means. Those days, like in 2008 or like
Oh yeah.
92, there were not much resources available.
Yeah, but now that we've talked about the history and we have seen what happens, we have also seen cases where people were recalled into the team right before the World Cup, right? Out of nowhere, they would come into the squad because everybody felt that the squad was not good enough and they wanted some experience. So वो पुराने player को लाके and last moment पे squad में डाल देते थे. Whether it's Javed Mirdad in 1996, or whether it's I can't think of other examples, but I know there have been numerous examples like that. But I
I'll give you one
feel
example.
lately, right? Lately in the last, yeah, please do.
Just for the audience, don't forget Salim Malik. Salim Malik was in 96. Salim
Yeah.
Malik was in 99 as well. 99 as well, he was there. Imagine.
Too, when he just kept swinging his bat and could never ever make contact. But I agree. Last second में अपने दिल को दिलासा देने के लिए that maybe this is going to be that final beauty touch that's going to help us win the World Cup. But I feel ever since Babar has come into the role that he has now as captain, he has brought this stability where he says, I would rather lose with the people that I have worked on than win with the people that someone else forced onto me.
Yeah,
Which
you
I
mentioned.
think, one, it gives a very stable feel to the team because हम माने नहीं माने, this team is stable. कब से opening करते हुए देख रहे हैं, there's Babar. So even though he has two new people in the team, in Saud Shakil, possibly in Hassan Ali, possibly um, who was the other one? Saud Shakil, Hassan Ali, and Osama Mir. But even they are people that he has worked with in the past. We can see why Saud Shakil is there because he's a regular in the test team. He has the ability to play spin. So ये कोई तुक्के के decisions नहीं ले रहा है ये. Right? He
Right.
didn't go for the shortcuts कि मैं आमिर को ले आता हूँ. मैं पिछले साल के वर्ल्ड कप में वहाब को ले आता हूँ. उसने ऑस्ट्रेलिया में बहुत अच्छी बॉलिंग की थी. या टेस्ट मैचेस पे मैं जा रहा हूँ तो मैं वहाब को ले आता हूँ. I don't need to take a 17-year-old Naseem Shah or any of that. No, he has worked on these people. And somehow we have this leader in Babar that understands that you have to work on these things over a long period of time. And because he happens to be so good himself, it is very difficult to debate him. Something that other captains couldn't do, right? Because Sarfaraz was not performing like Babar, obviously. So वो किस तरह dictate करता कि मुझे यही चाहिए.
Yeah.
So I think that is a bit of a blessing in disguise for us.
And I think, Bilal, let's not forget that in '92 World Cup, unfortunately, Waqar Yunus couldn't participate. Saeed Anwar couldn't participate. We went with those without two stars actually. Saeed Anwar was doing actually very well in '91, '92, and Waqar Yunus especially. He was at his peak in '92, '91. So yeah, so similar story we have with Naseem Shah, and of course with the likes of Muhammad Amir as well. Um, I think a lot will rely. We will be relying on the bowling domain
So you
with
brought
Shaheen.
1992 comparison from somewhere, huh?
Yeah, okay, it's coming into my mind actually. So I thought to portray those. So I was saying that uh,
I know.
I think
I
we
know.
are relying a lot
It,
on, yeah,
yeah.
I'm saying that we are relying a lot on Shaheen and Haris. And one very interesting debate started. I hear during the press conference of Haris Rauf, he was asked a question that आप नए गेंद से अच्छा बॉल करते हो या पुराने गेंद से अच्छा बॉल करते हो. So Haris Haris Rauf responded that I can't say anything because it depends on my captain. If captain wants me to bowl the first 10 overs, I will do it. And if the captain wants me to come after 15 or 20 overs, I will do it. I'm ready for both the scenarios. So this is very interesting, who will open the bowling with Shaheen? For sure, it cannot
It has
be.
to be Haris Rauf, in my opinion.
Yes, it has to be Haris Rauf. It cannot be Hassan Ali. It cannot be Mohammad Wasim Jr.
Exactly. And I think people that are even questioning this, they're forgetting the Asia Cup, last year's Asia Cup final, when Haris Rauf bowled within the first 10 overs and what he did to the Sri Lankan top order. In the first 6 or 7 overs, they were 50 for 5 or 60 for 5. And he bowled that one beautiful in swinger to the lefty batsman. And the guy can bowl with the new ball, right? So
Yeah,
he has to be the next guy. The only reason he doesn't open is because Naseem is there. Naseem's not there, Haris opens, and then everybody else comes after that. And then what they really need to work out is who is going to take wickets in the middle overs. They just have to figure that piece out, and then the rest of the bowling is going to take care of itself because Shaheen clearly has improved in death bowling now also, or at least he's working on it. In both games, he came back in the last few overs. He picked up crucial wickets. So I think it's the 20th to the 40th over mark, or 20th to 35 overs. That's where they need to figure out who is going to take wickets. If they figure that out, in my opinion, bowling is set. Then it comes down to their middle order, and then the rest,
yeah.
guess what?
So I would like to mention a very interesting point. You remember in '92 World Cup we had Akif
Mhm.
Javed. So Akif Javed did a very good job in the finals in removing Graham Gooch. If you remember when he, no, not sorry, not Graham Gooch. I think he took a very
No,
nice wicket. No, it was
Ian
Mushtaq Ahmed.
Botham. Oh no, sorry. So Ian Botham was Wasim. Yeah, so Ian Botham was by Wasim Akram, and then
Yeah.
the other Alex Stewart is the guy that Akif Jawad got out.
Yeah. So in general, just to mention that Akib Javed was, maybe I'm just trying to correlate with Hassan Ali actually. Hassan Ali can be playing the role of
Mm.
Akib Javed, just having a 134, 135 pace, nice pace, and try to swing in the ball and swing out the ball and try to contain the batsman in the middle overs. That should be his first priority. And while doing so, he can be effective, and who knows, he emerged out as a winner. One more thing I would like to mention about Hassan Ali. In one of the podcasts recently, he joined. I forgot the name who was hosting that show. He mentioned that. Uh, do you remember what happened in 2016 World Cup with Carlos Brathwaite, where Ian Bishop said the remarkable words, "Remember the name," he said.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
do you know that those three, four sixes was hit on
Ben
which
Stokes.
bowler? Exactly. Now
Ben
Ben
Stokes.
Stokes
Yeah.
reverted back his retirement. He's a hero now. He was the hero for the last ODI World Cup. He has taken back his the retirement. He's coming back again. Another example I'll give you. You remember Yuvraj Singh hitting six sixes to which bowler?
Stuart Broad.
Correct. So the message I'm trying to give here, why the people of Pakistan cannot give chance to Hassan Ali again.
Well, I mean they can. I I agree with you. My only issue here is the difference in work ethic, right? So if Ben Stokes at that point in his career had already done unbelievable things, ठीक है, वो उसको final over मिला and he couldn't deliver and he basically single-handedly lost that game for
Right.
England. हमारे यहाँ क्या होता है कि उस लड़के को इतना डिप्रेस कर देंगे, इतना डिप्रेस कर देंगे कि not only is he not going to get picked again, he will lose his own confidence to work hard. Is Hassan Ali mentally strong enough to come back to his best that he was in 2017 is the question, right? I have not seen those glimpses, even glimpses of it yet. And what I mean by that is there was a particular length that he used to bowl in 2017 where he used to bring batsmen forward. It wasn't too full, but the way he bowled, it was full enough for them to think that they can play on the front foot. And because it was full, the ball got enough time to do stuff, whether it was seam in or swing. And that's how he would get his wickets. But ever since then, either it's a coaching thing or something's happened where he has pulled his length like half a foot back, where everybody now plays him on the back foot and no one plays him on the front foot. Like you would actually find it difficult to remember when someone drove him straight or someone drove him through covers. That's because his length is not full enough. I still believe that if he fixes that, the ball will do something for him, but he doesn't give it enough time. They keep cutting him and they keep pulling him. Look, if he's that mentally strong, I would love for that story to happen, and it would be a great lesson for Pakistani fans as well.
Yeah.
They don't give up on people because of one small or two small mistakes. It will be a great story.
Yeah,
So I agree with
exactly.
you.
And one more additional thing on Hassan Ali topic. See, in Pakistan, the dilemma is the entire nation watches cricket. And if you notice, in New Zealand or in England, there are a lot of other sports. Like in New Zealand, they play footy, rugby, so many things they play, and they play World Cups. But if you look at Pakistan, unfortunately, hockey was the most watchable sports in 91, 92. But it has losing all the interest of people. Even if you remember in those days in 90s when we used to play in the street, we used to had some days, okay, 2 days for football, 2 days for hockey, 3 days for cricket. If you had those chances in your school days or college days, we used to do that in North Nazabad area. We used to had something um, 1 day for hockey, or I used to had hockey stick, by the way. Imagine in 98, 99, I used to had a hockey stick. I used to play hockey on the roads. We did it in North Nazabad area, by the way. But now, as time passes, I think the entire nation is 99.9% focusing on cricket. And that's the dilemma as well, that when you
Yeah.
so much extremely follow one sport, then you will hammer that player, which happened with Hassan Ali. And also, the last thing I would like to mention, remember the Javed Mirdad 6 on Chetan Sharma. His house was burned in India, and he was out of the squad for like many, many
Mhm.
months. So I think Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, not sure about Sri Lanka, but Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, they have a lot of story about extremism. What happened to MS Dhoni? He lost few matches in his later stage, and then
Yeah.
man, people start hammering him. Also happened to Virat Kohli as well. People start hammering him, but that did not happen to Stuart Broad, to
I think
Ben
it's just a
Stokes.
culture.
Exactly, exactly.
And just before we end this, I'll say something controversial in response to that. Here, to me, this is a difference in the evolution of people, right? In the West, you're talking about England, you're talking about Australia, you're talking about any of those nations that still understand that at the end of the day, it's a sport, it's a game, and it's someone's profession. Um, they have evolved over a much longer period of time than people in South Asia. And what I mean by that is कि उनकी countries जैसी अभी हैं ऐसी बहुत पहले से हैं, right? So वो उसमें बुरी stages से गुजरे हैं, अच्छी stages से गुजरे हैं. They have learned. They're the ones that have basically come up with rules and regulations that the world follows. उन्होंने try किया इन चीज़ों को test किया, fail हुए, then they fixed it again. It says no, let's try again, let's try again. Then they eventually came up with a system with everybody, which is which everybody else copy pasted. So, and when you copy paste, if that solution in one particular thing doesn't, your emotions don't understand that solution, emotions come out because you don't know why you even came to the conclusion that this was the best system for your people. Whereas in the West, they have gotten there after numerous generations have tried these systems or some versions of them over time. I think that is what shows in South Asia. India, even with its economic strength now, still shows that immaturity when the emotions come out and their team loses. They don't know how to handle it. It's because of the whole copy paste culture. They're not evolving using their own values, their own systems. They're just copy pasting, and then hence all this craziness that happens. वो craziness जो अंदर है वो छुपती तो नहीं है ना, उसको तो evolve होने में time लगता है. वो तो वही है, वो तो evolve नहीं हुई. Systems evolve, okay, right? Yeah, copy paste, okay. I feel that's what that is. And but Suhail, this was awesome. I had a lot of fun.
Same here.
Ideally, I would love to keep these whenever we speak to 30 minutes because people that watch, they don't have attention span of this long and they tend to just turn it off. So this was awesome. Let's do a follow-up soon. We can figure out when we want to talk about this, possibly before the first warm-up game or before the first official game. But this was awesome. Whoever was watching, thank you so much, guys. And we'll talk soon, Suhail.
Sure. Take care, man. Bye.
Take care.